All right, we're going to close our eyes and take a deep breath here, and you'll understand why in just a second. Here we go. Close our eyes. Deep breath. Nice. Module 8, welcome. Be the calm, problem solving on shift. What this module is all about is training shift leads to think critically, stay calm under pressure, and make confident, effective decisions when unexpected situations arise. I feel better already just taking that deep breath. I want to do it one more time. Join me if you want. Excellent. So why decision making matters? Well, because things don't always go as planned, right? Guests show up late, staff show up late, staff call out, equipment fails. You're the one people look to in these moments to stay calm and to handle things quickly, all right? So shift rarely is perfect, we know that. Being calm, decisive, builds trust and momentum. That trust is super key, all right? Momentum, super key. We always want our shift to be like a great game, all right? So it's exciting. It's a tie game. Third quarter comes around in football. Our team, home team, starting to win. This means basically, and then at the end, we win the game, kick a final field goal, everybody wins, does a 5-star Google review. So the analogy here is people come in, they get their service standards in place, and they get their food, and that's they're starting to win, right? They're starting to feel better because they're eating and drinking that great stuff that we provide, and they know who their server's name is, and they're excited, and they get pre-bussed, and they just had a great experience. But that doesn't always happen, and so your role as a shift lead is to be calm, act quickly, and make sure you want to keep the shift from falling apart, all right? And the guests will notice when you are walking around doing figure eights and table touches, they will notice that you are part of this solution. So what does be the calm mean? Stay steady even in chaos. It means your energy is steady even when things get chaotic. You don't panic, yell, or freeze. You assess the situation, make a decision, and communicate clearly. Excuse me. So assess, act, and communicate clearly. These are the common problems to expect. Of course, staff calls out or no-shows. We are currently running an incentive-based pay program to make sure our staff come on time. We won't do that forever. I can tell you that right now. It's the basic part of having a job is to be in uniform and be on time. All right, but it does happen and you need to be able to manage it. We have some documents in place that will help you make decisions. Guest complaints or walkouts, they will happen. How do we prevent them? Guest kitchen delays or out of stock items, this will happen. POS crashes, power outages in general, Wi-Fi crashes, etc. Your job isn't to prevent every problem, but it is to sort of know it's going to happen and be alert and be aware and be able to problem solve very quickly. So making decisions, quick decisions, starts with the 3 C's: check, choose, and communicate. All right, so check, identify the real problem and the facts. So what is the real issue? What are the facts? So let's just use a guest complaint as an example. All right, so a server comes up to you and says, my guest doesn't want to pay for their meal. What is the real problem? Why are they unhappy? Okay, we're going to go by the table. We are going to talk to them, build some rapport, and then we will need to decide on the best option quickly right in front of them. We know we want them to pay, right? We know that your guardrail is 10% off of their total bill. Maybe they really just had an issue with one item and they don't want to pay for that item, all right? You're going to save us money and save us less cost over time if you can do this stuff well. That would have been a good decision. If the guest wasn't going to pay, that's what the server said, right? And you came and got them to pay 90% of their bill, good job, all right? So pick the most reasonable option that keeps service going or that keeps the guest satisfied, and then communicate to your team and explain the why that happened. So in this example, tell your server what happened and why. So it starts with, I went over there and I introduced myself and my name and my role, which is shift leader manager on duty. How can I help you? Well, we don't want to pay for our bill. I hear what you're saying. Is there a problem that I could help resolve? Well, yeah, the server brought out the wrong one, and the server did this and the server did that, and So essentially that conversation, as you guys know just now, you decided to comp that meal and they were happy with that decision. Sorry, not the meal, the item. But importantly, close the loop with your server. So let the server know what happened. So you talk to them, you build rapport, you de-escalated the situation. You were able to just comp the one item and they're still going to pay. And that's important. Say the words, that's important for this business, right? And let them know that in the future, if there is a concern, tell me early so that I can go by and talk to the table and you may not have that issue. Because that's probably the difference between them getting a better tip or not, right? So check, choose, communicate. All right? If you make the wrong call, that's okay. You heard me say it. That's okay. You're not going to make, we want you to have guardrails so that you can make decisions on your own. But if there's a decision that you feel is too large, then you just need to pick up the phone and call the manager, all right? But own things, own it, fix it, and move it on, right? So keep the service moving, learn from the experience for the next time. That's one of the key things here. As you know, I'm an educator, so if we're not learning, we're not growing, and we need to grow as a business, all right? So a wrong decision that you learn from is still better than doing nothing and letting the problem grow. So by doing nothing, what is a good example of that is sweeping things under the rug. So-and-so never resets their tables properly. Don't just sweep that under the rug. Make an incident report, coach them, help them do it, etc. Make sure they understand the standard that we have, and you show them how to do it, and then you kindly let them know that that is the expectation from management and ownership to do. And if it continues to happen, just let them know that you will have to share that as an incident to the manager. So final thoughts here, problems will happen, it's normal. What sets a great shift leader apart from others is how they handle these problems, which is calmly, confidently, and in service of the team and the guest experience. Okay, so problems are normal, your reaction defines who you are as a leader. Stay calm, be clear, keep things moving. Great leaders, as the image shows at the top, I want you to try things, try to uphold the standard, try. You might fail over time. People fail, I fail, we all fail. Try, fail. Eventually it leads to success because we learn, we debrief, we have communication, we talk about what went right and what went wrong. I do this with our managers every week. I don't have the opportunity to do this with every single staff member every week because it's just too many people for me to do that with, right? I have a few different businesses that I run, so I don't have that time. But I look forward to the opportunities when we do have that you feel confident to share things with me so that I can learn from you and you can learn from me. Thanks.